Well, happy Friday to you once again. I'm Marlin, your tour guide to the ag commodities. Interesting market developments today. We have some fairly sizable moves. I did want to point out today is first notice day on the May contracts, and we had a few deliveries posted this morning, maybe not what you would suspect, and we can take a look at those. The key deliveries today were rice, rough rice, 394 contracts. And you had Kansas City wheat, 27 contracts posted for delivery, and you had Chicago wheat with 12, and oats. Well, oats checks in with one, one contract posted for delivery. You did not see anything for corn. You did not see anything for soybeans. That indicates people want to hang on to it, apparently. Let's take a look at our current trade. What's going on with the corn? Well, we are higher on the nearby contracts, but not on the deferreds. Isn't that interesting? You have July corn now 4 cents higher. We're at 8.17 and you have December unchanged at 7.51 3/4. Now let's switch over and take a look at soybeans. These quotes from bar charts show July 14 3/4 higher. We're now at 16.99 Whew, just 2 ticks away from $17. And you have the November new crop soybeans quoted at 15.31 3/4. That is up 10 3/4 cents on the day. Big losses in the wheat market today. In Chicago, you have July down 21 3/4. We're at 10.64 per bushel. And likewise, Kansas City under pressure. You have July down 24 cents at 11.17 1/4. So it's kind of hitting the skids here today. And in Minneapolis, spring wheat, we're down 14 cents at 11.77 even with that wintry weather in the northern plains and northern Rockies this morning. For those of you watching the cotton market, you have July up 66 points. We're at 148.34 per pound. It got as high as 151.10. It's almost hard to even read prices like that. They're so high. And December, 123.97 is down 103 points. Now, how's that for a spread change between July and December cotton? I want to bring in Chris Swift of Swift Trading. He's based in Nashville. And boy, when you look at the market acting the way it is as we get toward the weekend here, Chris, do you foresee a bunch of maybe position squaring because it is the end of the month as well today?
Good morning, Marlin. Yes, I believe so, but I think the biggest thing that's causing some apprehension is how strong the U.S. dollar has been. If anybody takes a look at the chart, the last 5 or 6 trading days have literally been straight up. So I have to start having some reservations in my mind that with grain prices at contract highs, some of them at near historical highs, and every country out there that exchanges their currency is having to do so at a very egregious exchange rate.
Yeah, right now the dollar is down 389 points this morning on the June futures, so it stands at 103.270, but still very, very high. And the Dow Jones Industrial Average right now, it's down 293 points. We're at 33,535 on that June contract. And one thing to keep an eye on, crude oil continues to creep higher here, Chris. We have June now at 107.22 per barrel, and that is up another $1.86 here today. So obviously that could be throwing a little bit of support over to the soy oil and the corn market today as well. Well, we're going to pause right here, and Chris, we'll come back and talk about this livestock trade as we get close to the end of the month. We'll be back after this. Well, we have small gains in the corn market today. Let's see what the cattle market is doing. Is it affecting it? Well, you be the judge. We are mixed. You have June live cattle quoted 27 lower now, and we're at 133.62 after posting a high early today of 134.30. So we have come off that by about 70 cents. At that point, we would have been, half a dollar higher. Now, August live cattle are trading at 136.15. That would be down 20 cents. Now, the fall months are actually just a touch higher way out there. Meanwhile, in our feeder cattle trade, weakness across the board, but it's not a runaway train. You have the August contract down 47 cents. We're at 169.92, almost exactly a dollar off of our earlier high this morning. And September feeders down 77 cents at 172.62. Lean hogs are kind of beating up on the lean hog market again today. You have the June contract down 237 at 108.60. I want to go back to Chris Swift. Chris, it seems like maybe some of the traders are abandoning ship here on the lean hog market. Technically, it's looking kind of weak.
Well, from a general standpoint, Marlin, we have to consider what the consumer is looking at. It could be months before they ever see any relief from this inflationary pressure. So what I feel is that the consumer is settling into higher meat prices, higher prices of everything, and they're shifting in that discretionary spending habit. And I think that's what we're seeing in a general way in both cattle and hogs, and that they're not just roaring straight up with all of the other inflationary factors. They tend to be getting knocked a little bit, and I think that's because simply meat protein has a tendency to take a back seat when we start to see our disposable income shrink.
How far away are we from support on live cattle right now?
Down around the 130 level for the June is some good support where we have seen the market stop a couple of times before. The cash market is very, very good, and it may still be good for the next couple of weeks. But after such, we know that we're going to see a slight increase in fed cattle ready to slaughter in the June, July timeframe. So from that standpoint, it may not last long.
I did want to take a look at the beef cutout values that came out from USDA yesterday afternoon. And the choice cuts yesterday afternoon were a little higher. They were up 69 cents, quoted at 262.60. But I'm looking back at the history of it, and a week ago it was at 270.17. So it has lost a lot of ground in the last week. Select cuts yesterday were down $1.26. They were quoted at 251.06. That would compare to week ago levels when it was 255.68. So they have lost ground there too, but not as much as over on the choice side. Just wanted to point that out. Well, Chris, I'm glad you could join us here today. Good to visit with you, and have a safe weekend out there. Chris Swift of Swift Trading in Nashville. With that, Janet, I'll turn it back to you.